Hello everyone, I am Aravind from Spire Lab in Electrical Engineering Department, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I am currently pursuing PhD under the guidance of Prashanta Kumar Ghosh. In this presentation, I am going to present my work on speaker conditioned acoustic to articulatory inversion using X vectors. These are the content of my presentation. First, I will present a brief overview of articulatory representations and their applications. Then the dataset collected at our lab for this work, followed by the proposed approach. Then I will discuss the experiments and results. Speech acoustics can be seen as a product of temporally overlapping gestures of articulators, each of which regulates the formation of constriction in the vocal tract. Having the knowledge of articulatory information along with the speech acoustics has shown to benefit several applications, including automatic speech recognition, accent conversion, and speaker identification tasks. Various acquisition devices are available to record synchronous acoustic articulatory data. One such device is electromagnetic articulograph, where we place the sensors on key articulators, namely lip, jaw, and tongue. Estimating speech acoustics from articulatory movement is known as forward mapping, while estimating the articulatory movements back from the acoustics is known as acoustic to articulatory inversion. In this work, we focus on acoustic to articulatory inversion modeling. Acoustic to articulatory inversion is a regression problem where the relationship between input acoustic features and output articulatory features are known to be nonlinear. Various methods are proposed in the literature for acoustic to articulatory inversion, right from the codebook-based approach, Gaussian mixture model, hidden Markov model, and deep neural network-based AI models. In deep neural networks, recurrent neural networks are known to model the temporal dynamics well. They also preserve the smoothing characteristics of articulatory trajectories. Typically, AI is trained in a speaker-specific manner. For these models, we need sufficient amount of data from target subjects. Instead of speaker-specific training, utilizing acoustic articulated data from multiple speakers could benefit the performance of AI. The previous work in this direction from our group at IISc are low resource acoustic to articulatory inversion and speaker conditioned acoustic to articulatory inversion. Next, I will present a brief overview of these two methods. In low resource acoustic to articulatory inversion, the objective is to reduce the demand of acoustic articulated data on the target subject given the data from the reference subjects. Instead of training AI in a speaker-specific manner, initially we pool the acoustic articulated data from multiple speakers and then train an AI model referred as generic background model AI. This model captures the rich acoustic articulatory mappings from the multiple speakers. Then for a target subject with a low resource data, we fine-tune the weights of generic background model. And the primary investigation of this work is to know how much adaptation data is required from the target subject to achieve the performance similar to that of speaker-dependent AI model. Experiments revealed that at 37.5% of training data from target subjects, the performance of fine-tuned model is on par with the speaker-dependent AI model. And at 100% of training data, fine-tuned model performs better than the speaker-dependent AI model. Low resource AI experiments indicate that generic model AI performs better than speaker-dependent AI model, and the performance is further improved by speaker-specific fine-tuning. However, this involves two-step training and results in a separate AI models for each speaker. An alternative approach to fine-tuning GM AI is to condition AI with speaker-specific information. The speaker conditioned AI approach is shown in this block diagram. Speaker-specific information is fed to AI as one hot representation along with the speech acoustic features. Acoustic features are fed to the dense layer and one hot encoded speaker identity is fed to the embedding layer. These two representations are concatenated and fed to the BLSTM layer, followed by a linear regression layer. The hypothesis is that by conditioning with speaker specific information and training AAA model results in an efficient and compact way of learning multiple AAA models within a single model. The findings of this work are, by conditioning speaker identity information explicitly achieves the best AAA performance. However, the limitations of this work is by representing speaker specific information as one hot encoding limits the speaker conditioned AAA model to the closed set speakers from the trained set and does not generalize to the unseen speaker. To overcome this limitation, in this work, we propose expectors as a speaker representation to condition AAA model. In the next section, I will provide the details of articulatory data acquisition process. Articulatory data was collected using electromagnetic articulograph AZ501. EMA has 24 channels to record in three-dimensional space at a sampling rate of 250 and 1250 Hz. This is a picture of a subject inside the electromagnetic articulograph with sensors glued to the different articulators. We glued 6 sensors on 6 articulators, namely upper lip, lower lip, jaw, and on the tongue tip, tongue body, and tongue dorsum. This results in an 12-dimensional articulatory features which captures the articulatory motion in horizontal and vertical directions. 460 English sentences from Mocha timid sentences are chosen as a speech stimuli. Acoustic articulated data was recorded from 30 subjects. Next, I will present about the proposed approach. As discussed in the prior work, representing speaker-specific information by one hot representation limits the performance of AAI. In this work, we present the experimental results with expector for speaker condition AAI approach. Expectors are neural network embeddings which are recently shown to be successful in extracting speaker-specific information. The proposed approach is shown in this block diagram. From speech acoustics, we computed the speaker representation from X vector model, and we also computed MFCCs as an acoustic features from speech acoustics, and these are fed to the dense layers followed by a BLSTM layer and a linear regression layer at the end. We hypothesize that in scene condition, X vector performs on par with unhot representation and could able to generalize to the unseen speakers. In the next section, I will present experimental setup and results. First, we divided the recorded 460 sentences from each speaker into train, validation, and test sets. RMSE and correlation coefficients were chosen as an evaluation metric. For the scene condition, we perform experiments with 20 speakers, and in unseen condition, we perform experiments with 10 speakers. For computing expectors, we use pre-trained model, which is trained on voxel database using Kaldi toolkit. Expectors are 512-dimensional feature vectors. For verifying the discriminability across the speakers from the EMA corpus, we utilize TSNE plot for visualization. From this figure, we can observe that speaker embeddings extracted using X vector model could discriminate different speakers. Different AAI models experimented in this work are summarized in this table. Based upon whether pooling, fine-tuning, and speaker identity is required or not, and the number of AAI models resulting in each approach is indicated in the last column. In speaker-dependent AAI model, we do not need pooling, fine-tuning, and speaker identity, while in generic model, we need pooling data from multiple speakers, and which results in a single model. We further fine-tune generic model AAI on each speaker resulting in a separate AAA models. In speaker conditioned AAA model, we pool the speakers and train a model by conditioning with one hot or X vector as a speaker identity representation, resulting in a single AAA model. First, we observe the results in scene speaker condition. We compare speaker dependent AAI, GM AAI, fine-tuned AAI, speaker condition AAI with one hot representation, and speaker conditioned AAI with X vectors. The results of each model is summarized in this table in terms of average correlation coefficient and RMSE. We observe that the X vector based AAI model performs better than the one hot based, followed by the GM FSD, GM and SDAA models. In unseen case evaluation, we compare three models, GM AAA, USC AAA and XSC AAA models. USC AAA model is similar to speaker conditioned AAA model with one hot representation while training, but while during evaluation, here we map the unseen test speaker to the closest speaker in the trained speaker set using the speaker identity network. The corresponding one hot representation is fed to the USC AAA model while evaluation. We observe that X vector performs better than the baseline methods. With respect to speaker dependent AAA model, the relative drop in X vector model is less compared to the generic model AAA. An illustration of the predicted articulatory movements of speaker conditioned AAA is shown in this figure for tongue tip horizontal and vertical motions, where blue trajectories are ground truth and red dotted ones correspond to the predicted articulatory trajectories. In this work, we have shown that utilizing X vectors would benefit in both speaker dependent and speaker independent AAA models. In future work, we investigate the benefit of multiple speaker data across different languages and pathological speech. We thank all the subjects participated in the data collection process, and we would also like to thank Pratiksha Trust and Department of Science and Technology, Government of India for their support. For any questions related to the work, please write to us at spirelab.ee@iasc.ac.in. Thanks for your attention.